I went into a shoe store today that was having a retirement liquidation sale. My husband and I were walking around looking at stuff. We get to the front door, we're about to leave, and we end up talking to the owner's friend who was standing at the front of the store. You know, he asked us, oh, do you guys live in the neighborhood? So we started talking about neighborhoods. He said he had lived in that neighborhood for, 30 plus years, and he and his wife ended up moving about a town away. It's so quiet, and we were, making jokes about how quiet it is, and the 4th of July, oh my gosh, like there's no sound, we got to check on the neighbors, is everything okay? Because they weren't used to it being that quiet. And he said, his wife recently passed away, and he said it's even more quiet now. The kids are out of the house, the grandkids are out of the house, and it's just him. And he's, talking about a little bit lonely and way too quiet, and he might have to move back and all those things, right? So my husband and I go to leave, and I turn to the man and say, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry to hear about your wife. My condolences. And he looks back at me and gets a little bit teary. And he says, yeah, it's been a rough 3 years. My dad passed away, and then my mom passed away, and now my wife has passed away. And he said, it's unfortunate that it took all of that happening for me to realize that work is not the most important thing. He said he worked as an engineer, and he was doing 12, 16-hour days. He said, now I know that family is the most important thing. Love is the most important thing. He said it with tears in his eyes, and I got chills and, of course, got emotional. But, it just hit me. The whole conversation just hit me so hard. All I could do was just say, isn't it beautiful that you've had so much love in your life? Scene change. Anyway, I told him, isn't it beautiful that you can take them with you and carry their memory on? I've been thinking about that conversation ever since it happened, and I'm realizing that that's a huge part of why I wrote the book that I just released. It's because, sure, it's a dark romance. There's spice. There are, spooky, scary things, none of which are too grounded in reality. But the theme of love extending beyond all of this, very human life stuff that we get wrapped up in, love being more important than that. Love being more important than that is actually what the book is about. Love extending beyond all of these things that we think are so important to our lives, this hustle, this grind, this success, the things that we want. The book is really exploring, what happens when we get to the end of our existence and we realize, the only thing that matters is the person that we love with our whole heart, the person we can be our complete self with. And he reminded me of that